Skywatchers, and welcome to the sky above us. I'm James Albury, and I'm your tour guide to the night sky. We have a wonderfully close pairing of two contrasting Roman deities this month, and our nearest celestial neighbor pays them a visit as well. What am I talking about? Let me show you. Although a lot of people pay attention to Mars, you might be surprised to know that the first planet we visited with spacecraft and the closest one to Earth is actually Venus. Venus is often referred to as our sister planet because it's almost the same size as Earth. However, that's where the similarities end. The surface temperature of Venus is a whopping 854 degrees Fahrenheit. The atmospheric pressure is a crushing 1,300 pounds per square inch, and the clouds are made of droplets of sulfuric acid. Mars, in contrast, is referred to as the red planet and has been the cornerstone for science fiction writers for over a century. Mars is red because the rocks on its surface are mostly made of iron, and over time, that iron has rusted. This gives the planet a very distinct red color. Many cultures associated the red color of Mars with blood. Therefore, each culture named this planet after a character in their mythology who was associated with war, violence, and death. The Greeks named it Ares after their god of war. The Babylonians and Syrians named it Nergal after their god of pestilence and death. And the Romans, of course, named it Mars. Venus has an interior orbit to ours, and just a few months ago it reappeared in the evening sky. Mars has been in our evening sky for almost a year now, and it's currently positioned on the opposite side of the solar system from us. If we viewed our solar system from above the North Pole of the Sun, we would see that on July 13th, Mars and Venus will appear along the same line of sight from Earth. From our perspective on Earth, their orbits are going to line up just right, so much so that they'll be visible in the same telescopic field of view. 2021 seems to be the year for extremely close pairings of planets. For example, Jupiter and Mercury had a close pairing of 19 arc-minutes on March 5th. Mercury and Venus had a 25 arc-minute pairing on May 28th. And of course, Jupiter and Saturn had a 6 arc-minute pairing at the end of 2020 on December 21st. An arc-minute is a unit of measure astronomers use when measuring the angular separation of objects in the sky. We divide the sky into degrees, minutes, and seconds. There are 60 arc-seconds in 1 arc-minute, and 60 arc-minutes in 1 degree of arc. For comparison's sake, our moon is approximately 30 arc-minutes in width. We also refer to that as being 1 full moon width, or half a degree of separation. Mizar and Alcor, the visual binary at the bend of the handle of the Big Dipper, have 12 arc-minutes of separation. Jupiter and Saturn had half of that with only 6 arc-minutes of separation during their Great Conjunction in 2020. In this pairing of Mars and Venus, they will appear 28 arc-minutes apart. That's almost the same angular width as the Moon. Therefore, it should fit quite nicely in the field of view of binoculars or a 32mm eyepiece of a telescope. So, here's what this upcoming pairing of Mars and Venus will look like. Okay, we have our sky set to July 11th, about an hour after sunset, facing west-northwest. Low toward the horizon, you'll see the unmistakable brilliance of our sister planet, Venus. Just above it and to the left is the red planet Mars. Just below the pair, you'll see a one-day-old waxing crescent moon in the constellation Cancer the Crab. Venus and Mars will be within the boundary of Leo the Lion. Over the next 2 nights, watch Venus and Mars as they appear to get closer and closer to each other. This apparent movement is caused by Earth's relative motion with respect to both Venus and Mars, which too are moving. Here's where they'll be on July 12th, with the moon entering Leo, and on July 13th, Mars and Venus reach their closest at only 29 arc-minutes apart. Again, they'll be visible in the same telescopic field of view. So, if you're an astrophotographer, make sure you set up your camera to catch them both at the same time. This will truly be a rare event. Alright, my friends, get outside on July 13th and check out the super close pairing of Mars and Venus. Before you go, visit our website, theskyabovus.org. From there, you can watch previous episodes, listen to the Sky Above Us podcast, purchase the Sky Above Us merchandise, and you can even ask me an astronomical question that I'll answer in a future episode. And if you'd like to support our program, click on the Patreon link in the description, and you could qualify for autographed The Sky Above Us memorabilia, and you could see your name in the credits of our next episode. Who says you can't see love and war at the same time? You can, as long as you remember to keep looking up.